With the 2023 NFL Draft fast approaching, I wanted to take a look back at some of Washington's recent drafts to grade how each pick has turned out so far in DC. Today we're traveling back 2 seasons to review Washington's 2021 draft class. Let's get right to it. After finishing 7-9 and winning the NFC East in 2020, Washington's football team went into the 2021 offseason extremely optimistic. They had a top 10 defensive unit with the reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year in Chase Young, and hoped to add even more talent to the roster through the 2021 NFL Draft. In the first round, with pick 19 overall, Washington selected linebacker Jamin from the University of Kentucky. While linebacker was a position of need in DC, Davis was considered a reach by many, having limited college playing experience but boasting loads of athletic potential. Davis was thrust into the starting middle linebacker role as a rookie in Washington and struggled in an up-and-down year one. Davis did show flashes of his elite athletic traits throughout that first season, but often struggled adjusting to the speed of the NFL game. He finished his rookie season playing in 16 games with 8 starts, making 76 combined tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 1 pass deflection. In 2022, Washington moved Jamin outside, freeing him of play calling responsibilities and allowing him to use his athleticism more in space. The improvement was immediate and extremely impactful, with Davis playing in 16 games with 15 starts, making 104 combined tackles with 9 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and another pass deflection. His lackluster rookie year was now in the rearview mirror, as the move to outside linebacker seems to have unlocked the beginning of Davis's immense potential. The hyper-athletic linebacker enters his 3rd season in Washington as a solid starter, looking to take the next step. In the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft, with the 51st pick overall, Washington selected offensive lineman Sam Cosmi from the University of Texas. Thought to be the future at right tackle in DC, Cosmi has struggled to stay on the field through 2 seasons due to injuries. A major disappointment thus far as a second-round pick, Cosmi has managed to start just 15 games in Washington, giving up 4 penalties and 9 sacks allowed. Last season, the team at times tried Cosmi at guard, and the former Longhorn may have found a home on the interior so long as health permits. In the 3rd round of the 2021 NFL Draft, with the 74th pick overall, Washington selected defensive back Benjamin St-Juste from the University of Minnesota. Much like Cosmi, St-Juste has struggled with injuries during his first 2 years in DC. In 2021, St-Juste played in just 9 games with only 3 starts, totaling 26 combined tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 3 pass deflections. In 2022, St-Juste began the year strong and looked like a legit starting NFL corner before an ankle injury cost him the last 5 games of the season. In 12 starts, St-Juste totaled 42 combined tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 7 pass deflections. When healthy, BSJ is a big physical corner that should be in contention to start on the outside for Washington in 2023. Another 3rd-round selection in the 2021 NFL Draft, with the 83rd pick overall, Washington chose wide receiver Dyami from the University of North Carolina. The slender speedster was widely expected to develop into Washington's wide receiver 3, but has struggled to find nearly any playing time in Washington's loaded receiver room. Through 2 seasons, Brown has played in 30 games with 6 starts, totaling 17 catches for 308 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dyami has clear big play ability, with 11 of his 17 career grabs going for first downs, while averaging a robust 18.1 yards per catch, but has managed to hang on to just 44% of those targets over his first 2 seasons. Brown was the favorite wide receiver of current Washington quarterback Sam Howell in college at North Carolina, but is currently buried on the depth chart behind the uber-talented trio of Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, and Jahan Dotson. Look for Brown to try to lock down the wide receiver 4 role for Washington in 2023 as a deep threat and rotational piece in Eric Bieniemy's new-look Commanders offense. In the 4th round of the 2021 NFL Draft, with the 124th overall pick, Washington selected tight end John Bates from Boise State University. The big burly blocker was chosen mainly due to his prowess in the run game and has fit in nicely as Washington's tight end too. Through 2 seasons, Bates has started 15 of 33 games played, totaling 34 catches for 357 yards and 2 touchdowns. While Bates makes his money as a blocking specialist, he also shows some ability as a pass catcher and security blanket underneath. Bates looks again to be Washington's tight end too going into 2023 and can continue to develop as a pass catcher and seam threat under Eric Bieniemy. In the 5th round of the 2021 NFL Draft, with the 163rd overall pick, Washington selected safety Darrick Forrest from the University of Cincinnati. Chosen as a developmental depth piece who excelled on special teams, Forrest did not see much playing time as a rookie, appearing in only 8 games and making just 7 total tackles. But with starter Cam Curl injured to start 2022, Forrest stepped in and performed at an elite level, playing in all 17 games and making 11 starts. The second-year safety totaled 88 combined tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 fumble recovery, 9 pass deflections, and 4 interceptions on the season, going from backup and special teamer to elite starter. Riverboat Ron found an absolute steal in round 5. With Darrick, Forrest, and Cam Curl, Washington forms one of the most dynamic young safety duos in the NFL. In the 6th round of the 2021 NFL Draft, with the 225th overall pick, Washington selected long snapper Cameron Cheeseman from the University of Michigan. While drafting a long snapper may have been a surprise to some, Washington looks to have stabilized the position for many years to come, with the former Wolverine playing in all 34 possible games at long snapper for Washington since he was selected. Washington had 3 7th-round picks in the 2021 NFL Draft, starting with the 240th overall selection, choosing defensive end William Bradley King out of Baylor. The backup edge has bounced on and off the practice squad during his time in Washington, appearing in only 4 games over 2 seasons, with 7 combined tackles and a half sack as a developmental depth prospect. Washington's second pick in the 7th round in 2021, with the 246th overall selection, Washington drafted defensive end Shaka Toney from Penn State. Toney has played mostly special teams for Washington as a tweener edge who has speed and bend, but is vastly undersized at the NFL level. In 2 seasons, Toney played in 26 games with 1 start, making 16 combined tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 1 tackle for loss in limited backup duty. This offseason, Toney was suspended indefinitely by the NFL for violating the league's gambling policy by betting on NFL games, and his future in the league is in jeopardy. Washington's final pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the 258th overall selection in the 7th round, was wide receiver Dax Milne from BYU. Zach Wilson's favorite college target has played in 28 games over 2 seasons in Washington, with 2 starts, making 15 catches for 120 yards and 1 touchdown. The backup receiver was Washington's primary punt returner in 2022, taking 40 returns for just 311 yards for a 7.8-yard average, with a long of 19 yards and no touchdowns. Milne is extremely limited athletically and has an uphill battle to make Washington's 53-man roster in 2023. With competition likely coming through the draft, his days in D.C. may be numbered. The 2021 NFL Draft produced some key impact players for Washington, finding eventual starters at linebacker, cornerback, safety, and long snapper. Maybe more impressive is all 10 2021 draft picks are still currently on Washington's roster. With the offensive line still very much a question mark, the Commanders sorely need Sam Cosmi to stay healthy and produce at guard next season, or his selection in 2021's 2nd round will be Washington's big miss in this class. Dyami Brown has so far been disappointing as a 3rd-round selection, buried on the depth chart as a developmental wide receiver 4, but still has the speed to become a rotational piece of Washington's offense as a deep threat in 2023. Each of the 3 2021 7th-round picks had developmental potential as backups, but all may find themselves off of next season's new-look Washington roster. What did you think of Washington's 2021 draft class? And with the 2023 NFL Draft starting this week, what do you think are Washington's biggest draft needs? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more NFL content just like this.